it was a privilege and an honor to be here today in celebrating this diplomatic conference, the incubator of the next generation of Nigerian diplomats. It was a very engaging experience. We discussed about European Union partnership with the Federal Republic of Nigeria, but also the Economic Commission of West African States. We discussed about the different priorities, the importance of regional economic integration, the importance of partnership for security, the importance of green and digital transformation, the importance of investment and trade, the importance of Africa industrializing and proceeding with its own trade integration, and the role that young diplomats have to play in order to promote all these agendas for the well-being and the welfare of Africa, of Nigeria, and its own people.
Today's event is a day of history made, is a day we are moving forward better on our bilateral agreement between Nigeria and Australia, and also a day we are moving forward on our multilateral agreement between Nigeria and the other Western blocs, other Eastern blocs, other African League, and other Asian League and other African blocs. Diplomacy is not just a call for negotiation, it's not just a call for dialogue, it's a call for peace building, it's a call for peace setting. If we're talking about peace, then we're talking about development. So in the core of this, I will tell Nigerian youth to embrace peace. In embracing peace, we are embracing development. And at every sector of our economy, in every sector of our nation, we need peace. And peace fosters development. That is why it is important for the Nigerian youth to encourage diplomacy, because diplomacy gives birth to peace, and peace gives birth to national building. This means a lot to me, because it means that I'm being recognized today by the Transformer Institute of Africa, and that's also a call for me to do more than whatever little I'm doing within my space for the nation's building, for the peace setting, for the bilateral development, and for the multilateral development.
Today's program and event is historical, is timely to prepare the mind of young people. If you look at 80% of those that attended this program are young people. Diplomacy, policy making, stimulation, and representation of a country goes a very long way. Most of us does not have insight on negotiation before now, but at the course of this 6 weeks course in this institute, we learned a lot. It has built us, it has prepared us to represent Nigeria well in any country. And if peradventure President Bola Ahmed Tinubu deem it fit to appoint me as an ambassador to any country in the world, I want to assure you I'm going to deliver excellently well, especially as it has to do with security and negotiation. When you are not informed, you are deformed. So the onus then lies on us to go out there and convince our fellow youth that there is need for us to be on same path to be able to drive Nigeria positively to its promised land. The current insecurity that has ravaged the country is as a result of the fact that young people has not really been carried along effectively, and now some of us have been properly informed. It is now our duty to go out there and engage them and tell them it is the right time for us not to just be at the defensive end, but for us to come to the forefront and be part of the struggle of the liberation of Nigeria as a country, to become the country that it was in the years past, whereby without any foreign interference, Nigeria was doing well and was doing better than it is doing today.
Today's event marks a very important day for Nigeria in building our multilateral and bilateral relationship. The relationship between Nigeria and Spain spans between trade, climate, security, and so are other EU countries. These interventions or this relationship that we are having will help foster mutual benefit between all countries that are partners with Nigeria, and it has also enlightened us to know more about Nigerians' diplomacy, to know more about our bilateral cooperation with other countries and how we can mutually benefit from each other. My advice to Nigerian youth is they should look inward in terms of diplomatic affairs. So it's whether you have an interest in being a diplomat or not, but it is essential for you to have a broader knowledge of what it takes and the relationship that Nigeria have with other countries like China, UK, US, Canada, and how that relationship is beneficial and important to we Nigerian citizens. Also, it will help our youth to know how they'll be able to form a relationship and benefit from such relationship from other countries. For example, when the diplomat from Canada was speaking, he talked about the bilateral relation between Canada and Nigeria, and that they are interested on climate and trade and gender equality. So for Nigerian youths, I will encourage them to embrace and learn more about the bilateral relationship between these countries in order for us to know how to, fast track or participate in terms of trade, in terms of security, those that are interested in security. Nigerian relationship with Spain, we are moving from oil, because Spain is one of Nigerian top EU partners in terms of crude oil and gas, security and agriculture. So we are deepening that relationship. We are transforming that relationship not just on crude oil, not just on gases. We are looking at green energy, we are looking at solar, we are looking at agriculture, and we are looking at other areas that could also be beneficial to Nigerian youths.
21-5 Child Foundation. We are an NGO based in Ibadan, and we have our primary focus on gender equality and solving teenage pregnancy. I believe today's event has been very enlightening. It's been one where the opportunity to network with different delegates has been presented to us. Issues have been presented that were not exactly on the table before, and they have now been brought to light. And with this conference, we hope to be able to develop communiques and possible solutions to foster and further the solution of these problems. In truth, I know that many of I'm a youth as well, I know that many of us find it rather boring or tedious to really delve into diplomatic knowledge about our country, and that's because I feel like we're not being brought to the table. Events like this have brought us to the table to be knowledgeable about what's going on, because oftentimes we have this common belief that we are not knowledgeable or equipped enough to be here. So events like this have brought us here, and I'm highly happy for the opportunity to be here.
It is very important for you to be empowered. So I take this to be youth empowerment for aspiring future diplomats, because we youth are actually ready to take up the responsibility to develop and make our nation better. So with this kind of training, youth get the information, the skills, the education needed to build on their portfolio and for the preparation of the task ahead of us in the future. Definitely, I think this should not be limited only to the national level. It can be taken down to the state level to be domesticated, to build the youth and impact them with diplomatic knowledge, because we never can tell where we can find ourselves in the future through appointment or election or nomination. But when we have this knowledge from the early stage, it will be easier for us to perform better when we get to that point.
So the diplomatic conference is a program that aims to strengthen Nigerian young people capacity in diplomacy, multilateralism and international cooperation. So we're looking at how we can build the next future ambassadors. So in the program, delegates assume the role of Nigerian ambassador to different countries where Nigeria have a diplomatic mission. So with that, they are playing the role of Nigerian ambassador, participating in policy. We are looking at the Nigeria 4 policy agenda: democracy, demography, diaspora, and development. So we're looking at how we can strengthen that and how young people of Nigeria can contribute to this Nigeria foreign policy agenda, and also how we can build international cooperation among different countries that Nigeria have diplomatic relation with.